The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Tuesday night show with me, your host, Sean Kelly. I am on 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. I want to thank you, PRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, for allowing me to give you two shows a week. Sunday nights, 8:10 to 10:10 p.m., and on Tuesday nights, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. What a week, huh? It was a very good show on Sunday. A lot was talked about. So I guess I'm doing pretty good for now. And the weather's been really nice. I can't get over it. It's cool. It's very cool here in Pittsburgh, which I kind of like, man, because that heat was kicking my butt all the time. Don't forget, my friend C.L. Thomas, her podcast comes on right after mine. 9:15 Eastern. It is called the Gateway Podcast. And so whenever you get done watching my show, just go over there and check her show out and give her some love. Tell her I sent you. And, you got to check out shows. Am I in Blawnox? No, I'm not in Blawnox. Nope, not at all. Nope. Towards Pittsburgh, near the South Hills. That's where I'm at. But welcome to the show, buddy. Welcome. Life is good, and I just lost track of what I'm going to say. And okay, so let me get back here again. All right, so I'm just like really like. Okay, let me start again. Hi, my name is Sean, and this is my show tonight, Into the Night. I got a great show tonight. I have my friend Maxim Furek. Hey, Laura, good to see you. I don't know what's going on. Maybe Glenda can help me out. Why am I getting a brain fog here? I'm not sure. But I have my friend Maxim Furek tonight. And I have Glenda. they are running. Well, Max is going to be a speaker at the Interdimensional Paranormal Expo down at Connellsville. And Glenda's like whole show. And there's a lot of all new people in my chat room tonight. They might be friends of Glenda and they might be friends of Max. Oh, Ed, holy gosh, good to see you, my friend. So I want to get the show on the road here while I still have my thoughts. But without further ado, I am going to give you my dear friend Maxim Furek and Glenda, Lady G.
Hi.
Hello, guys, ladies, gents. Hey, Mark Eddie. Good.
Hi, Sean. Hi,
Hey,
Glenda.
wow.
Hello. Hello.
Okay. Good to see you all. I'm really excited. Hey, Cindy, I'm really excited about this. You know, Laura says great. You know, Laura Pruitt, she says, hey, back. You know, so. But so tell me, what's going on with you, Max, real quick?
Well, it's kind of interesting how I came to meet Glenda and get an invite to the Interdimensionals Paranormal Conference. Back in February of this year, February 8th, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette had a 2-page feature article about me and my fascination for Western Pennsylvania and Chestnut Ridge. So they, wrote about this like I was sort of like the, something new and improved. But anyway, Glenda heard about me and reached out and said, hey, how would you like to be at our conference? So we've been talking, and it's just so exciting because as I'm watching the list of speakers getting bigger and bigger, and, there's people there that I know, like I've been on stage with Stan Gordon a number of times, Eric Altman, David Hardy. I've been talking to April Bousset from New Jersey, on Facebook, and I'm looking forward to meeting everybody there. But it looks like it's going to be a really nice 3-day event, and so I can't be more excited about being in the Pittsburgh area again. So I wanted to thank Sean, thank you for having us on your podcast, and also Glenda,
please,
thank you so much for the invite.
Oh, you're welcome, buddy.
And Sean, as you said on your intro, the weirdness in me honors the weirdness in you.
I thank you, sir. I thank you. Glenda, hi, welcome.
Hi.
So give us a little background to you, please.
Okay. Well, where do you want me to start about the event coming up this weekend, or about the radio show, about me?
About
what
you,
do you want to know?
About you.
About me
first, and then go into the radio show, and then go into the interdimension thing. Hey, Heidi.
Sure. I've been doing paranormal investigations for about 20 years now. I grew up on a haunted farm not far from here in Periopolis. And you and I briefly talked about you being aware of Quaker Church and the cemetery there. And I grew up about 1.5 miles from there. But that whole area is a hotbed of paranormal activity due to the limestone and the coal mining and things that really happened in that area, and experiencing those things from a very young age, wanting to find out why I was experiencing these things. And and back in the 70s, you told somebody and your parents, you're imagining things or whatever. But when I got into my 20s, I was finding out people are experiencing, I'm experiencing. So I started pursuing these investigations and these anomalies, and why are we experiencing these? And that led me to kind of where I am today. I worked for the federal government for 30 years, so you had to kind of keep that hush hush that you experience things like that, especially having the security clearance that I had. So I just kept that separate from work. Bought a farm in Gettysburg. Not knowing that I did. Wow. I lived on the north battlefield of Gettysburg, not knowing that the farm was as active as it was. A friend of mine, I did not know, that was a talent scout for the Travel Channel, investigated my farm and turned it into the Travel Channel. The next thing
Oh,
I
wow.
know, the Ghost Nation, which was a 2-season show that was run by Jason Hawes and his team of ghost hunters.
Mhm.
They came to my house, and normally they're there for 4 days at a site. They were at my house for a week and a half.
Wow.
We ended up being season 2 premiere, a 2-hour show.
Wow.
And they could have easily done another 2 hours. And you can find that. You can go on YouTube and you can look that up at Ghost Nation. And the episode is called The Witching Tree.
Ooh,
So you can
cool.
see everything that goes on there. Well,
Do you still own the farm?
no, I do not own the farm. I since then I've sold it, and I moved back here to Connellsville because my in-laws needing some help. They're 89 and 90 now, so we moved back here. Well, we moved the radio station at the time. My husband started a radio station, and he was broadcasting out of Greencastle. We outgrew that station, and when we moved here, we got our own FCC license, and now we're 88.1 WCBI FM here in Connellsville. So we've been doing this about 8 years. We have not only are we terrestrial, but we are broadcasting through the internet. We have a little more than 5 million listeners a month, and we're in 150 countries.
Wow.
Sweet.
And they decided I'm one of the owners, and the other 2 owners decided, oh, I think it's a great idea that you do a paranormal show. I'm like, I wasn't sure about doing that, but I ended up, okay, let's see how this runs. And it's been very successful. I base it a lot on Coast to Coast. We are an audio only. And because I really admire Art Bell and what he had done, and now it's George Norrie. So I really pattern myself in my format the way that they do theirs.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, not only did I find information about Maxim through the Pittsburgh Press, but I found him when he was on Coast to Coast. And most of my guests are, probably 90% of my guests are Coast to Coast guests.
That's cool. That's cool as hell. I like that. Okay, so that's interesting about your radio show. Maybe we'll have you back on with your husband, and we can talk more about your radio show. We could do that.
The Interdimensions Paranormal Expo this weekend is for a benefit for the Fayette Friends of Animals, and it is, I believe, the county's only no-kill shelter, and they really don't get any government grants or anything like that. It's a lot of private donations. So we are help raising funds for the animals, because right now it costs about $80 a day to take care of an animal, between the vets and the housing and the food and people being there to help take care of them. It's pretty expensive. So that's our goal, is to help them out a little bit this weekend. It starts Friday at 7:00. It is the VIP kickoff party. Tickets are still available. You can go to interdimensions.boo to find out more about it. Saturday actually starts the expo itself. It starts at 10 a.m. to 6. I'm sorry?
Hi, Laura. Oh, I just said hello to Laura.
Oh, okay. And then on Sunday, it's from noon to 6. It is at the Connellsville Community Center in Connellsville. But yeah, you'll get a whole lot more information if you go to interdimensions.boo, or you can go to our radio station, and that's hugs@wcbi.com. Or if you just type in Hugs 24/7 Radio, that is our platform, and you'll be able to find us there as well.
Oh, thank you. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Connellsville, okay?
Please, I want to hear.
Oh my gosh, I did so many investigations down there in Connellsville. And
I'm all ears. I'm listening.
And Brownsville too. Have you ever been to Brownsville? No, the
Brownsville Library is crazy.
Right.
Crazy active.
But the Connellsville Library, we investigated that, and you got to go there and investigate it, because it is creepy as hell. It was a lot of investigations. Yeah. But maybe when I get you on a Sunday show, that's a 2-hour show, we can talk a little bit more about that down in that area. But what I want to do is ask you one more question, and we'll get to
Sure.
Max. Okay. So how did you come up with your guest speakers? Because Eric is a great dude. Stan Gordon's a great dude. Max is a
Mhm.
great dude. Hey, Heidi, good to see you. I know you drive safely. Glad you're listening. That's my dear friend, Heidi Gold.
Aw,
Bestest, greatest friend in the whole world. Yeah. Where did you come up with the speakers for the show? And if you can, if you know any vendors that are going to be there, could you please share?
my speakers, I got to know through various expos and doing investigations. I met Brian Kano through another investigation out in Pottsville, and then became friends with him. Um, like Maxim and April Bouget, I met them. I did interviews with them on my show, and found them through Coast to Coast AM.
Mhm.
Eric and Stan are local, so
Yeah,
my husband
Eric
knew
is a good
Stan for
person.
many years, and met
Mhm.
Stan, and same with David Hardy. He's a real good friend of one of our part-time radio personalities, so I met him
Right.
through a friend, and that's how a lot of networking, and finding out
It's
about these
hard to
people.
network, is it? It's hard to network, man.
It is
It's
because
it's
everybody's
so
pretty
hard to
busy.
network.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. You have one hell of a lineup up there. You got like an A plus plus list there for all.
I
Really wish I could go down and listen to
I
some of
wish you could
them.
be here.
Oh, maybe next year when I retire, if you do one next year. But I'm
You never
retiring in next June, so
are
wish me
you
luck.
okay?
I'll be. But
I got my fingers crossed
now
for you.
let's thank you. Let's get to Max now. Max, what's up, buddy? I'm gonna bring you. What's
That's a
going
great
on, my
intro.
friend?
Well, we're excited. We're excited about making the drive out to Fayette County. And, last time I was there was years ago. I went to Uniontown and saw Susan Powder, the queen of the infomercial. And she was doing a presentation there at the mall, Uniontown Mall. But man, she was pretty cool. She was dynamic, but that was one of my memories of Fayette County. But I'm looking forward to being there and meeting some of the people on the lineup. And yeah, I just think it's going to be exciting. There's so much. A couple things. There's so much energy, so much synergy when you're with one of these conferences, and everybody has something to give. And the vibrational levels are just so high and just so wonderful. Like everything's copacetic. And I'm looking forward to
Mhm.
that. But the other thing is, it's great to be back in the western part of Pennsylvania because you guys got it going. I mean, there is definitely something in
Yeah,
the
we do.
water, something freaky out there. And I mean, come on, the western Pennsylvania, especially Chestnut Ridge, is just noted for the paranormal. And Pennsylvania is recognized as possibly the number 3 state as far as Bigfoot sightings
Hmm.
Yep,
after
Hmm.
Washington and California.
yep.
And then the other thing in Western PA, we have not only the cryptids, but we have the cryptids and the orbs, the cryptids and the UAPs. So
Oh
there's
yeah.
some obvious, very definite paranormal connection with the cryptids and the flying saucers. Whatever that is, we
Yeah.
started to track that. Unless I'm mistaken, I think Stan Gordon started to write about this in the 70s and talked about that connection between cryptids, Bigfoot and orbs. So again,
Yeah.
if it happened earlier, I didn't hear about it until I heard about it from Stan. But I feel like I'm
Oh man,
related to.
I have no doubt in my mind that the UFOs and Bigfoot are connected. There is no doubt about it.
Yeah.
The Bigfoot used the UFOs for interdimensional, going from one dimension to another dimension. There is no doubt about that. I truly believe.
Yeah.
Joni, good to see you. Ed's good to see you. Ed Odell said, Max, he screamed real loud on you. But
Ed Odell. Hey, Ed.
and Laura said, and so I personally believe, especially around the Pittsburgh area, is that you got the 3 rivers. You actually got 4 rivers in Pittsburgh. Okay. You got the Allegheny, Mon, and the Ohio. But underneath the point, there's a fourth river that actually feeds into Point Park. Okay. And with all that water down there, all that energy, you got to figure too. Also, the Britons were there. Was a war fought there in that area, and then with all the killings and all that during that war, and then they opened up the coal mines. And you know, Max, the coal mines. There's a shitload of coal mines around here. Hey, Bill Rigby, there's a lot of coal mines.
Oh, there's
around.
Bill. Hi, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
All right.
And to me, that's the reason why I believe it's a hotspot. I really, truly believe.
Yeah, and then add the limestone to that. The limestone, and then all the tragedies of things that have happened between the steel mills and the coal mines, and just having the hard times that people had in this area for, a century or two. I think all of that fuels what has all the paranormal things happening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? Over in Homestead, they tore the mill down, okay, and they built a real big mall in there, or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know I would go down there at night? Laura works with energy every day. Okay, cool. We got to talk later, Laura. But I would go down there, and have dinner with my son down there. And do you know at night, and I kid you not, I would see shadows walking, no lie, walking in the back of the restaurants, there's like a walkway, right? And I just see the shadows just walking, man. So the Carnegie Library in Homestead, very, very haunted. I mean,
oh yeah.
Oh Lord. And so I'm like, that's the reason why it's a hotbed, dude. And then I'm just glad and famous that we're that popular, dude. I like it.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. But we
Night
are
of the Night of the Living Dead, and
yes, exactly. I actually investigated that cemetery. I did. Yeah. That was cool. That was something.
Yeah.
But it's at the bottom of the hour. Okay. And I'm going to go. We're going to do a little 2-minute break here. So if anybody has to go to the bathroom, smoke a cigarette, or have a Coke and a smile, whatever you got to do, we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay. All righty.
Okay.
Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
everybody, and welcome back to the second part of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. Here I am stuttering again. Laura, Glenda, what's going on with me, man? I don't know. I'm excited.
You're just maybe because you're just so excited about this Paranormal Expo and you wish you would be
I
there.
am. I
It's
am.
probably
There it is. There it is. Laura, I got that. I will do it after the show. Heidi, I'm glad you made it home safe. Thank you for having me. Welcome back. And Sherry, I'm doing great. Good to see you. Sherry's a good person. Good people. They're all good people in my group, in my chats. They really are. They're like, I call them my angels because they're great. And
yeah.
So don't forget, everybody, C.L. Thomas, Gateway Podcast, will be on right after my show, 9:15 Eastern. And so please go over to her show and give her some love and tell her what's going on. So, Max, I'm going to put something up here so you can explain it to everybody, okay?
Okay.
That you gave me to put up. What do we got here?
Some dude from the UK AI'd my picture with the laser eyes. So I've been going with that for a while. So, I mean, I can't look any geekier than that. So, but that was my 2026 Hoodoo tour. So we were in Forest County in Marionville back in June and made a side trip to Tionesta in Forest County, which is the county seat. There's about maybe 50 people there, maybe 60, but it was really kind of cool just to go there and see Mike Familion and a bunch of other people in Forest County. And then we did the Central Bigfoot Cryptid Expo just last Saturday, the 15th, which was awesome. Had thousands of people. Looking forward to Glenda's event this weekend. And I'm excited because a bunch of my friends are coming just to check it out. We have the Psychic Vincent sisters, Glenda, that I'd like to introduce you to. And
I briefly chatted with them. I'm excited to meet them.
Yeah, and they're looking forward to being possible guest speakers at your facility, at your program at one of these years. And then also the Schwartz Paranormal Group will be there.
Yep.
And then an interesting guy that I was able to interview at the Butler Paranormal Expo a couple years ago, and that was Jim Sparks, who claims that he was raped and assaulted by a succubus. So I have his story in my book, and I had talked to you about that, Sean, and we were going to get some feedback and get something going there, but I was never able to reconnect with you. But so anyway, Jim Sparks claims that he was attacked, and he gave me a photo of himself, and I put that in the book. So again, that's, I'm not calling, I don't know what it was, what happened, whether it's valid or not, but I just put his story there, and that's all we can do, just go with the story and and maybe try to validate it or not. But anyway, that's pretty dynamic, pretty dramatic, rather, that he's in the book. Yeah. So he's going to be there at the conference.
Good.
At your conference.
All right. Heidi says, loved your picture, Max. Laura Perrette says, what people do not know about Bigfoot, they live in D4/5 and they use portals to come into our own D3. Yeah, that's true. Also, anytime a Bigfoot is around, look for the skies. I do all the time, Laura, and that's a proven fact, because whenever I see that there's a Bigfoot sighting, I look and I research how many UFOs were caught during that time. But I'm going to put one more picture up and then we'll continue talking. All right, buddy?
Okay.
What's this? What do you got here?
Okay, so that's The Scream of the Haunted House. That's my latest book. And Kristen Amanda, she wrote the blurb. She said, quote, every paranormal investigator needs to have this on their shelf. The Scream of the Haunted House is the ghost hunter's Bible. And Kristen wrote the foreword to the book, but Hangar One just thought that we had pretty good on-air chemistry, so they put us together as the Paranormal Duel, and we're going to be doing a number of podcasts promoting The Scream of the Haunted House. So, I'm looking forward to this, and we'll see what happens with it, but it should be a lot of fun. And as you said, we network and we meet so many people on these podcasts. And I think overall, it's, we're all on a journey. We don't know the destination, but along the way, we meet guardian angels and ancestors and family, and it's all good. And all we can do for each other is say, you know what, you're heading in the right direction. You're doing well. So,
Max, I'm looking at your picture here, dude. What did you do, man? AI yourself? You look freaking young, dude.
Well,
you look young. Oh my God, it looks like it took 25 years off you. Look at that.
Okay.
You stud muffin. You stud muffin. I'm telling you, man. Wow.
Listen to me. Hey, Sean, shut up.
No, I'm not shutting up, you stud muffin. But Laura, go ahead, Glenda.
I was gonna say, you haven't. Maxim has an ad out. I don't know if you've heard it, for his book, and I love it. I mean, we play quite often on the station, but I don't know if you've heard it or not. It was really, I mean, a lot of kudos. You get a lot of compliments on that ad.
Yeah, Maxim. I do. Yeah, let me see if I could. I don't know if we have it here.
So, Glenda, so can you share some of your paranormal investigation experiences with us?
Sure.
What was your best one?
Well, the best ones are going to be either the farm that I grew up on or the farm in Gettysburg, and I'm probably going to do the one in Gettysburg because that's the most recent. But when I was moving into the onto the farm, by the way, most of my paranormal experiences are during the day, not at night.
That's cool. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I was moving into the house, and I took some boxes upstairs, and I was coming down the stairs, and of course all the doors are open, boxes and people were in and out. And I saw a guy standing there, and it bibbed, it looked very formal, bibbed overalls, work boots on, and whatever. And he was standing there looking at me, and I said, "Oh, hey, how are you? I'm your new neighbor moving in. I'm Glenda. Good to meet you." And he just looked at me, and within about 4 seconds, he faded away. I yell out, "I'm here 15 bleep bleep minutes, and I see a bleep bleeping ghost." Well, everybody comes running. And like, what's going on? What's going on? Later on, my husband, they seem to like to pick on him for whatever reason. He was out working in the barn. He comes in and said, "I don't know what's going on in the barn, but there's something happened." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, there's kids in the barn." I said, "Go get rid of them. That's a liability. I don't want, kids getting hurt. Whose kids are these?" And I went out to the barn. And at the time, a friend of mine was with me, Patty Blatt. She's my best friend, and we do investigations together. She happened to be visiting. We went out there, and we could hear kids like running around. This was not birds. You can tell when birds are flying around. You could hear them walking around, and you can hear giggling. Okay, we come back in the house, grab some equipment, go back out. Did some EVPs, come back and listen to them. And she is the parent. She's the EVP queen. I can't get them for nothing, but she gets some good class A, good class B EVPs. And there were 3 boys, Joseph, Kelvin, and Michael. Their last name was Leeper.
Oh, wow. The Leeper farm. From Leeper farm. Leeper. Oh, wow.
So we went in, and I told my husband, I said, "Oh yeah, we know who the kids are." And he looked at me, and he goes, and he was angry. He goes, "That's not funny. That's not funny." And we're like, "What do you mean?" Because we were all happy we got this, these really good EVPs. And I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" He does a lot of history work and research, and he flipped open this book, points down, and he said, "Do you know that across the street with the grist mill, behind it was a sawmill?" No. Well, the sawmill was owned by Leapers. The husband died, left it to his wife, Ruth Leaper. Ruth Leaper had three sons, Joseph, Calvin, and Michael.
Ah, sweet.
Joseph Joseph was killed in a sawmill accident at like 10 years old. Shortly after that, Michael did. And then Calvin just ran off. There was no more information about him, whether he grew up and left or, he ran away or, what his situation was. But the last input, he was 15 years old at this point, and that's the last we heard of him. And so we had this in my barn, that these three boys are hanging out in the barn. I've had those boys interact. We had those little kickball, like you buy in the dollar store, they're little balls. We'd put them on the floor and would watch them roll up and down.
That's cool. You should get a bunch of cat balls and throw them out there.
Well, we've had plenty of cat balls that would go off where SLS stuff. We had the documentation that really pulled in Ghost Nation was we threw up some equipment, left the barn for about 3 hours, came back, packed everything up, and the girls who were investigating took it and started researching it.
Sweet.
We actually have a film clip of it. It rolls, disappears, reappears, and rolls back into its spot. And that's what sold Ghost Nation to come to the farm.
Wow.
I love that. It's like really, really cool. So, Joni, I'm doing pretty good. I think Laura says, Glenda, he was checking you out, wondering who was moving into his house this time. Yeah, I would think that. We think that it was not the guy that I bought it from, but his dad who owned that house previously. Right. Both he and his dad were named Henry, and strangely enough, the man that I bought it from shortly after that, when he moved in the next farm over, he hung himself. Oh, really? Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's not go. Did you ever go like out of state to different places to investigate? I mean, my favorite is Prospect Place down in Trimway, Ohio. I don't know if you ever been there yet, but I highly advise you.
Yeah.
Trimway, Ohio, Prospect Place. And Max, if you want a good story, man, I'm doing good, John. If you want a good story, Max, for a new book, go and do your research on the Prospect House.
Yes, and, I agree.
Prospect House in Ohio?
Yep, Trimway, Ohio. It's a very good place. So, Glenda, back to you. I ask this to all the paranormal investigators that I have on my show. Now, you say you've been doing it for about 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I've been doing it since 1983. I've been paranormal investigator. Can you tell me the difference, what you see back when you started into what you see, what's happening now?
When I started, I think people were, they were afraid. They were kind of in the paranormal closet. And I see a lot more people now coming out due to the television shows. People are talking more about what they're doing and what they're experiencing, because before you were really ridiculed if you talked about things like that, or you were practicing witchcraft or something. You were devil worship, whatever it was that was not under the Christian faith. And I think that has changed a whole lot. But in the same respect, since a lot of those stations, the shows have come out, there's a lot more thrill seekers and fraudulent investigators. I'm a serious investigator. When I do them, I take a team with me of professionals. I have an electrical engineer. I'll take a psychologist with me. I'll take an electrician. So these people know how to do a base investigation to cross off the probabilities. And when we can do that, and then okay, maybe this is something that's really going on that's paranormal. And there's not a whole lot of people that do that. If you want to go out and have fun, go ahead and do that, but do it in a very respectful way. And that's the thing that I ask, because these people need to be treated the way you would treat them when they were alive, as now they're dead.
Sure. I like that. I like that. Laura says she's been dealing with the paranormal for 57 years. And she also says everything is a demon coming from Christians that makes it so damn, makes her damn mad.
Yeah.
You know,
and
it's
if I could,
find that.
If I could just
find
piggyback on that, you know, it seems like of late, the paranormal is under attack by the organized religion and by the religious right. There's a lot of Christian ministers that are coming out and claiming that aliens are demonic, that they're evil. You got people like the Vice President, J.D. Vance, claiming that these aliens are evil entities. And I'm just wondering why these politicians and why these Christian ministers are coming into our domain, and why they have anything to say at all.
You know
about
why,
us.
Max? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
They're afraid. They're scared is what they are. They're scared.
Right.
And that's all it is. They're scared. They, you know, they don't want to have that open mind on.
We're getting closer to answers.
Yeah.
And that's fearful.
And the organized religion does nothing for the good of the order except call people names. Just look at things in strict black and white terms, failing to see the shades of gray. I mean, they do a lot of just they're disrespectful in so many ways. I mean, you know, if you want to get closer to the truth, talk to somebody who's a Wiccan or talk to somebody who's a pagan. They see things a lot clearer than some of these other people do. So I'm really appalled.
That's a good thing to say.
Pardon?
I mean,
that was a good thing to say.
Yeah.
I'm even having problems with my expo where people are tearing down my signs and taking my signs.
Well, you're down there in
for what reason?
Connellsville.
That you're demonic?
No.
They just, they don't, the
Max, honestly,
Christian
it's like the Bible
organizations.
Belt. It's like the Bible Belt down there.
Okay.
Buddy.
The Christian organizations find it, they like, you know, devil worshiping, and anything that has to do with this is evil.
Yeah. Let me go one-on-one with them. I'll show them and tell them the thing.
We should.
I'm good.
We should get some. We should get some ministers on here, and we'll talk about respect, and we'll talk about the words of Jesus and all that. You know, we can do that.
Well, you know what? I can't. None of my shows. No, Max. Well, Max, seriously, I can't do that, because if we start talking religion, I'm going to lose a lot of people. You just don't do that.
Yeah.
You just don't do that on my show. You just don't do that. Heidi says, I've noticed the taboo of society view on spiritual attacks. One of my first spiritual mentors told me spirits can't hurt me when I was living it. Now she teaches techniques for attacks. Hey, there's my brother. Hey, Pat, good to see you. And if they knew truth about the Bible, they would not like it. And you know what? I agree with you, Laura, but not on this show. We don't talk.
Okay.
And so I know you got my back, brother. I do know that. But I tell you what, since you just brought up the Wiccan word here, Max, I'm going to draw just one card right now. So I think this is going to take us to the whole hour. So everybody out there in the chat and everybody in the world, I pull a card for everybody. That's their spirit animal for the whole week. So the card I pulled for you tonight is the crow.
Oh, the crow. Okay.
The crow.
I love crows.
I love crows.
So with the crows, you know, that is your animal card for tonight. There. So no, I'm sorry to cut you off like that, but when it ever gets into religion or politics here on my show or any of the shows on UPRN Talk Radio, we lose a lot of people. If you really want to come on the show and talk about politicians and politics and stuff like that, I co-host a show Friday night in News on the Flip Side with Joe Montaldo, who owns the station. If you want to talk about it, we'll get you on. And then we have Saturday night at 7 p.m. We got the chat. So you can talk about whatever you want. So
Okay.
I just wanted to relax about this. So you guys excited for this weekend
Okay.
coming up?
Okay. Okay.
I am.
Okay.
I'm really well anxious and excited at the same time
Hmm.
because you
Okay.
can't
Is this
predict the
your first
future, but
one
I
now?
believe it's going to be very
Well,
successful.
Yeah.
okay, I believe so too. I have good vibe about it. What do you think, Max?
Well, there's good word of mouth. I mean, a lot of people are talking about it. Travis McHenry, my buddy, he's coming out, and as well as the other people from central Pennsylvania. So yeah, I think it's going to be a big event. We're talking about. It seems to be unique. It's not just Bigfoot, but it's a whole lot of things. So it's you got
I
Eric
try.
Altman and Stan Gordon to cover that, but then I'm going to be talking about the Schmurl haunting, based on the which is about conjuring last rites. But I just think that it's going to be a really good expo, very very diverse, very eclectic, and so kudos, Glenda, to you for putting together that that lineup. It's going to be pretty awesome. Uh,
Um,
yeah, and Sean,
Patrick, my
just
God,
wanted to show
the
you
crow.
that.
Hey,
That's
my brother has a question. He says, Max, how many investigations did you do for your books?
what I did was for, you mean for the Schmar haunting or for Scream of the Haunted House?
The Scream of the Haunted House.
Yeah, for the Scream of the Haunted House, I talked to something like 100 ghost hunters and ghost hunting groups, just getting their take on the whole scheme of haunted houses, whether or not it's disrespectful to go into a haunted location, whether or not there's any possibility of demonic attack or infestation, whether or not there is an afterlife, whether ghosts and spirits and demons exist. And so all of that. So I just go at this more or less as a skeptic, as an academic, and putting all of this information together. I stand by The Scream of the Haunted House. I just think it's my best book. I think that we covered most of the bases. I think that if I had to do it over again, I think there was some more. I would go a little bit deeper, but I think that we covered what I wanted to cover, and I think we covered this in a respectful manner that brings us just a little bit closer to the scientific, and that's what I think I'm trying to do as a paranormal person, just to try to bring us a little bit closer to the scientific community, to get their respect and validity, and also to get the respect of the public at large. And I think the more we do this, the less we're viewed as kooks, as quacks, as weirdos, or as Satan worshipers. Which if anybody ever calls you, just start screaming. That is the most disrespectful thing that anybody could say. So, anyway,
Lady G says, my brother speaks highly of you. That's my brother.
Oh,
Patrick asked you again, would you go on one? Would you go on an investigation?
oh,
I'm
would I
sorry.
go?
Who's that? Oh,
That was
I
for
didn't know who that was.
Max.
I didn't know who that
Oh,
question
That
was
was
absolutely.
to
Yeah,
addressed.
Max.
yeah, Patrick, I would absolutely.
Cool. I'll go with you.
Yeah.
Laura Perret says, I was speaking to Spirit one day. My husband came into the room, asked me who I was speaking to. I said, a spirit. He turns around and leaves. That's funny. I like
And he
that.
never came back, right? He said he was going out for the papers, and he never
Yeah,
came back.
basically. Well, you know what? We have about 10 minutes. Not even, no, not even that, 5 minutes. I should have had you on my Sunday show, because that's a 2-hour show. I really, really enjoy it. And so for the next 5 minutes, we'll start with you, Max, and just tell people how they can see you or get to know you or meet you, and uh, a website or whatever.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So I don't go on ghost hunting expeditions, but I do go out looking for Bigfoot in Pennsylvania, and look for skunk ape down in Florida, and haven't found him yet, but I'm still looking. I came close one time, but I consider myself a skeptic. I consider myself a person looking for the answers, And if you know, I've published 10 books. Scream of the Haunted House is number 10, and number 11. If we could bring this up real fast, hang on, right here. This is going to be unknown 222. Hang on. So this is my next one that I'm working on right now, and that is right there. Okay, good. Can you see that?
Yeah. Hold on, real quick.
Yeah, Paranormal Monkey Shines. the hoaxers of high strangeness. And what I do is I call out these people that are hoaxers. You know, the Roswell alien autopsy, the KGB autopsy, you know, Piltdown Man, Loch Ness, a whole bunch of them. And we talk quite a bit about the Patterson-Gimlin film, and we talk about Capturing Bigfoot that came out this year, January, at the South by Southwest Film Festival in Austin, where Mark Evans claimed that he uncovered a film showing Patterson-Gimlin doing a trial run for the 1967 film. Mark Evans claims that the 67 film is a fake, and he interviewed Patterson's son Clint. And I'm going on record offering to debate Mark Evans any place, anytime, to refute what he's saying. I believe that the 67 Patterson-Gimlin film is accurate. I believe that it's our holy grail, and I'm here to just go and defend it against this person, Mark Evans, and his new documentary that very few people have seen. So, you know, when we have this conversation, I'm going to assume that nobody in this room has seen Capturing Bigfoot.
Okay.
Correct?
Well, okay, that sounds good. Max, Glenda, how about you? Where can people meet you at, and whatever you want to offer?
Sure. At the end of my show, I call this SSP and shameless self-promotion, where I give people a couple minutes. But you can find me, you can listen to me on 88.1 WCVI FM. It probably does not reach Pittsburgh, but you can go to either interdimensions.boo, which is the show's website, or you can go to hugs@wcvi.com and scroll down to the headset, and you can listen to me on Thursday nights live, Interdimensions. It's at 8 p.m. It runs from 8 to 10 p.m. on Thursdays. There's also archived shows. So if you want to go and listen to the interview with Max that I did in any of the other shows, they're all there available as well. Hopefully we'll see you this weekend.
I wish I could make it. I could make it. But I want to thank you two for coming on tonight. It was a great show. It really was. Just to get to meet you, Glenda, that was awesome. Buck, hey, good to see you, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yes,
And Sean, thanks for being
sure
so amenable and having us on. It's just perfect timing. I mean, the conference is in a couple of days, so this is great timing. So
I know it is, and I hope that you guys get a lot of people down there. I hope you get a lot of dimensions. If you want to hang around for a little bit, I'm going to close the show for now. Okay, so okay, thank you, Laura. Okay, so everybody, that is the end of the show tonight. All right, I have to find my media. There we go. We're good. Now, children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug and tell them that you love them. Seriously, give them a hug and tell them you love them. And if you have nobody, no parents, no children, find somebody, give them a hug and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. Don't forget, every morning, look in the mirror and tell yourself that you are a special person without looking away. And please protect the children. On that note, good night, everybody. Have a good night. And I will see you Sunday. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
good night.
Good night.